Hello everyone, welcome to the webinar, Zoho Inspire webinar series for the day. This is a live webinar and then this is a webinar that's exclusively only to a partner network, and then I'm really excited about this. So the voice that you're hearing right now, of course, it's me, Ambi Murthy. So I head the partner acquisition efforts at Zoho, and then I'm also today with Dilip, who is the leading product manager at Zoho. Hi Dilip, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. Hello, everybody.
Okay, amazing. So we are really excited to meet our partners today from Europe, India, and the whole of Asia Pacific. So we're going to be looking at today's topic is very interesting, and then not only that today's topic is interesting, today's speaker is also interesting. So Dilip is not only a successful product manager, but at the same time he has his inclinations in yoga, he has his inclinations in spirituality. He's one man who wears multiple hats, and then he wears them really nice and successful. Okay, it's such a pleasure and honor to have you here. And then we do have something that is even more interesting today. Okay, so what we have here is that we do have a nice little contest that's running on Twitter. Okay, so anybody who has come in today, so you have a nice chance to win some Zoho goodies. So especially our partners. So use the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Zoho Inspire, and then make sure that you go ahead and then tweet out interesting quotes, interesting takeaways from the webinar that you're listening right now. And then, so the best tweet will win interesting Zoho goodies. So probably we'll send it to you or hand them over to you at Zoholics. Okay, but we'll ensure you that Zoho goodies reach you. So it is Zoho Inspire, and then you will see this hashtag on every slide, so you don't have to write it down. It's on Twitter. Okay, so let's get started. So before we go further, so let me just kind of give you the housekeeping notes for the day. The housekeeping notes for the day is something that's pretty simple and straightforward. So Dilip will be taking the lead, and then he'll be talking about the introduction, about about how we go ahead and then how we go ahead and then create custom functions. And also, what he's also going to do is he's also going to talk about advanced customizations. And then this is something which our partners have been really looking forward to. So they tell you what is new, and then they go ahead and then make sure that, so we give you the kind of not a release plan, but at the same time insights into what's coming up in customizations and custom functions. And then my favorite part of the webinar is actually the Q&A. But you know what? You don't have to wait until the Q&A actually starts. So what you can do is you can go ahead and then keep your questions coming right here in the right there in the chat box. And then so if you so right there in the chat box, and then so we do have a special guest of honor on call today. So we have Shanmugaraj today. So he's also from the product management team, and then so he's here to take any questions that you would have over chat. So hi Shanmugaraj, glad to have you. So what we can do over here is you can do not wait for the Q&A session to start, and then you can go ahead and then keep your questions coming right throughout this webinar. And then even though in the last 10 minutes we'll take questions via audio, but keep your questions coming as you see something on the screen, and then we'll go ahead and then take questions as we progress. And don't forget to use the hashtag Zoho Inspire on Twitter. Okay, it's all yours, Dilip. Take it away.
Thank you, Ambi. That's a nice intro. Happy to all you for this webinar. Let me get started. First, the introduction about the customization. As you all know, CRM should actually caters to different needs. So the best CRM would be labeled the way in which it actually addresses various needs. So a single CRM does not fit all the all the requirements. So how a better CRM can just accommodate each and everybody's need. That is the success of that CRM, and that is the power of customization that we would like to bring in. So having said that, what did we do in Zoho CRM since we started? So this is the memory lane of our customization part. You can see when we started in 2005, we gave custom fields, and then later on we gave formula fields and auto numbers, and then the web tabs, the creator apps can be integrated inside the CRM. 2011, from there onwards, we started connecting the other applications as well. So we started off with webhooks, and then slowly we introduced serverless technology through the custom functions, and then on there is no stopping at all for us. So we have been innovating a lot of things through the custom functions. So we introduced custom buttons, and then the important aspect, the custom modules, in 2013. And then in 2016 we introduced a very important aspect of the customization, which is the multiple layouts. And then we introduced the conditional layouts. In 2017, we gave you a many-to-many relationship between the modules that actually opens up a lot of avenues for the customization, and we didn't stop, so it keeps going. We'll see what we are up to the next couple of years.
So, Dilip, I have a quick question for you here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dilip, okay. Hi, can everyone hear us loud and clear? So we just want to make sure that everybody hears us loud and clear. Can you just raise your hands in the GoToWebinar chat box, or just say yes in the GoToWebinar chat box? It is on the extreme right hand side of your screen. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear us loud and clear. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? Yes, it's good. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, so thank you for sharing the kind of the background history, Dilip. So I just want to quickly ask you here. So you're kind of like given it back from 2005 to 2017, all the enhancements that you have done. That's almost like 12 years of really focused execution in custom functions. So what are from your perspective, like what do you think would be a really what do you think would be a really good example of if salespeople could go ahead and then use this thing? So what do you think they will be like some really good examples how salespeople or marketing people have used custom functions in the past? So can you give your own experience of interacting to prospects and customers?
Yeah, definitely. It's not just about the custom functions, the whole customization. Um, from the company's perspective, the whole holistic idea is how you manifest your real time data into the software terms. That is the main challenge that we have. So you have so many domains to cover. You have so many types of sales you want to cover, and how do you model them inside the CRM as modules, and how do you link them through the relationships and the custom actions through the buttons. So all these things, whatever you do on the real time basis, when that can be simulated inside the CRM to increase the productivity. So that is where all these the efforts, the focus on giving more and more customization comes in.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to kind of like set the premises at which we've been doing all this thing.
Okay.
So now that we have set this really well, okay, please take it forward.
Yeah. Okay. So in my perspective, the customization can be categorized in three different ways. One is pretty straightforward. As I was explaining, how do you model the real-time entities inside the CRM? So for that, you require the modules, the custom modules, and then based upon a particular field, another few fields should be shown. So that actually comes through the condition layouts. And if you want to derive different process altogether, so that can be achieved through the multiple layouts. And of course the custom fields are how whatever the data you want to capture inside an entity, so you can actually achieve through the custom fields. This is pretty basic. So without this basic, we cannot talk about the customization at all. So this is the underneath first step in terms of the customization. The next one, I would say it as the intermediate. What I mean intermediate is from CRM, how do you connect to other websites? How do you connect to other applications? So what are all the tools that we provide, so that from whatever happens inside CRM, you communicate to some third party application. So that is where the intermediate customization comes in which what we have given is the webhooks, the web tabs, and then the links. The third one, this is the most important one, the advanced one. Here what I would say is you can build your own experience So you need not wait for CRM to do some this customization, that customization. So you can take your own experiences to your to the next level. So for that, we are going to give some tools that would be very, very useful, at the same time would be very, very powerful moving forward. So for those who want to build their own experience, these are all the peripherals we provide: the JS SDKs, the JavaScript SDKs that we are going to provide, the mobile SDK, widgets, and then the custom functions. The custom functions we have already provided a few, so that actually gives more and more advanced customizations moving forward. Right. So before getting into the basics of the customization, let's see how our customization aspects are being consumed by our customers. So this is a stats which we have collected for every quarter. You could see how many number of custom fields getting created for every quarter, and this is for custom modules, web tabs, the buttons, links, layouts, and the layout rules. So you could imagine the numbers are humongous. You could clearly see that how many people are actually consuming our customization. So it gives us a clear indication that people are making use of whatever we are providing as customization. That is very important part. You can pitch more number of customers from your perspective. You can just vouch saying that, so CRM, inside CRM, so much of things are happening, so many people are using it, so you can definitely vouch CRM in this aspect. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get into the advanced customization. I categorize the advanced customization simply into these four categories. One is custom functions, which we have talked about. Second one is the widget, the workflow actions, and then the mobile SDKs, client SDKs. Let's see the custom function first. Okay, so the custom functions, as you all know, so it's been used in few places. The first one is the workflow, as you all know. Blueprint, the one which we introduced 6 months back. The related list, you can bring in your own information through the related list by the custom functions. Schedules, it's like a cron job. If you want to run a few things every day on a particular time, you can do that through schedules. And of course, the buttons, you can define your own actions through the buttons, and you can associate the functions to it. So these are all the places that we have. And apart from that, moving forward, we are going to provide the custom functions as a standalone entity. So probably, if time permits, I'll talk much about that at the later part of the webinar. Okay. So when we talk about the custom functions, we would like to give you this important stats where how many custom functions are getting created every day. Every day there are 500 custom functions, new functions getting created, and you could see the execution, about 700,000 executions are happening. And the next one is very important. Through the custom functions, 1.5 million API calls have been made. So you could imagine the magnitude of our custom functions consumption, right?
And now let's just take a step here for a minute.
Yep.
And then just look at the really amazing numbers that you put up on the presentation, right?
Yeah.
So you look at every single day, 500 custom functions that amount to almost 700,000 plus executions and a million API consumptions. So these are not very small numbers, maybe.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. So what is in it for a partner? If I was a partner, okay, and then what is in it for me that I should be pushing this and using this even more and more?
Yeah, so as a partner, it opens up a lot of avenues for you. So anything can be built on top of Zoho CRM. So that is the message it gives. Because for each and every company, they have got their own problems to solve. So CRM as a as a sales software, it moves on to a platform where more and more solutions can be built on top of it, and these numbers gives a clear proof for that.
Okay, is it safe to say that this is the first step? So there might be, so Zoho has a general CRM in place, and then for the manufacturing industry, the process is completely different.
Correct.
The insurance industry, the process is completely different, and then probably even the advertising industry, the process is completely different. So this is the first baby step towards customization, and then there comes vertical CRMs that takes right from there.
Yeah, perfect. So absolutely. This is the baby step, and this is the platform that we want to provide. And anybody who wants to build their own vertical CRMs, these are all the important ingredients so that they can just take a few leaves out of these customizations and they can build the vertical CRM on top of that.
Okay. Okay, perfectly fine.
Yeah. And this is another interesting graph I would like to show you. In Zoho CRM, on an average, it's about 3.5 million lines of code we have. And when you see the number of lines of code in customization, it's almost 1.6 million. It's almost like matching up with the CRM line of codes. So it really gives you how many people have started writing their own custom codes inside CRM to make use of their own requirements. And it's actually catching up a lot. So moving forward, probably we might write less code, and people would write more number of codes to make use of their own requirements, to fulfill their own requirements, and to build a robust CRM on top of our own base CRM. So that is the direction it goes now. Right. So we talked much about the custom functions. Let's see a simple scenario to give a glimpse about what a custom function can do. It's a pretty straightforward, basic example. I've quoted two. Let's see one functionality as a demo. So assigning ownership based on shift hours. So the idea is you create a lead, and who should own that lead. So based upon some shift timings, say for example, if 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the noon, somebody will get assigned. From 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock, somebody gets assigned. So similar, so you can derive your own equations and write the custom function so that whoever creates it at what time, based upon the time, it allocates ownership for that. Let's quickly see what we can do about it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll straight away go inside the workflow. So how to go inside the workflow? Go and click the setup icon, and you could see the setup screen. Inside automation, you can see the workflow rules. Go inside that. I'd like to see what are all the workflow functions that I have. So these many workflow functions, and there is one which I've created, assignment workflow rule. Let me go inside that. I've just created this for this demo. So this rule executes for every lead creation. Perfect. And this rule will be executed for all the records, irrespective of whether it is created through this or that, doesn't matter. And then the important point I would like to highlight is the action, instant action. I have written a custom function which is that lead assignment based on region. So what it actually does is whenever the lead is created and this custom function gets executed, let's see what this custom function actually does. Okay, I click on that custom function, and let me open up the function for you. A little bit of technicalities, just be with me. Right, so this is the deluge script that you used to see, and you could see I have written a function which takes the lead ID, and then it takes the necessary information from the lead ID, and from that information it sees what time it is it got created. Based on that, I have created a small loop which says that if it is 8 o'clock, between 8 to 12, you assign some particular person. If it is from 12 to 16, there is one block, and it's from 16 to 20, there is one block, and from there the ownership gets assigned. The last block is from 20 hours to 24 hours. This is the owner will get assigned. This is a simple, straightforward to to give a glimpse about what the custom functions actually do and how it looks. So now what it takes as an argument is the lead ID. So whatever the lead I create from from the workflow, the ID gets passed here, and through that ID, the necessary information about the lead will be digested based upon the created time. With the logic that I have written, it allocates ownership for that. Fine, right? So like this, you can write numerous custom functions. The custom functions can be of three types. One is it just connects inside the module itself or outside the CRM module. This is one type. The second type is from CRM it connects to the other Zoho services. So this is another type. The third one is it just connects to any third-party application for that matter. So you can write the custom functions based upon the need that you have. So the one which I have written is of type 1, which actually connects inside the module itself. So what I'll do is I'll go inside the lead module. I'll create some a lead. So let me put Ambimurthy. He's a favorite lead. Right. Okay. And that's it. So when I save it, okay, it asks for the company. Okay. When I save it, it gives me Matthew Albert Nicholson as the lead owner. So based upon the logic that I have, so the ownership get assigned because the time is around 4 o'clock in India. So between 12 to 16, so who is the owner? That owner gets assigned automatically to this lead. So this is a simple, a straightforward custom functions, and I can leave the imaginations and the innovations you can do through these custom functions to you. Right. So that's about the custom functions, writing a simple function for you. And we have a forum which goes on every Tuesday. This is the link. You can go to our forums and you can see for every Tuesday we have a tip how to write a function, how to give some nice inputs to it. So what are all the functionalities you can exploit? So all those things will be discussed there. So you can make use of this and you can start writing numerous functions. Right. Second, widgets. This is pretty new, and the people who have already written a few extensions, written a few platforms would be aware of this. And we would like to introduce widgets inside CRM itself. So that is what we are going to see now. Right. As the picture says, uh, by just introducing this widget, it takes the customization to another level. So whatever that we have right now is on a certain limits. Now we are trying to exuberate the ideas and the possibilities of what you can do from the customization. To put it in a small nutshell, what I could say about the widget is it's a simple app. It's a UI interface written by the customers. You can make use of your own JS framework, put some necessary pages and actions to it, and upload inside the CRM, and it works gracefully. So that is the idea behind these widgets, and we will be giving a lot of tips and tricks and a lot of resources to how to write the widgets. Everything we will be providing moving forward. Okay, so where are these widgets can be part of? We will see this one by one. On the UI part, so inside the web tab, you can put your own pages inside. As of now, what we have given is just a URL, a third-party URL. Here, you can just build your own UIs and put it inside the web tab. And on the related list, this is very important. So if you are seeing a particular contact and if you want to bring some third party help desk information right inside the contact, you can bring it through that related list. The home page, if you want to embed a few UIs from the third party and put it inside this CRM's homepage, you can do this through the widgets. And button actions, so you can derive your own actions, not just the actions which we dictate. So each and every customer will have their own requirements, so you can encapsulate the actions inside the widget and put it inside the button. So that is the another category. The next one is the automation. So from workflow, you can define the custom actions, and the custom action based UI can be driven. The same thing applies for the blueprint. And on the channels, you can build your own telephonies using these widgets. So we will be providing a lot of SDKs on that, and probably few of the customers, few of the partners might be aware of this telephony widgets, which is available right inside the platform.zoho.com by now itself. And of course the sales signals. So sales signals, it's pretty closed, and if you are coming through the extensions, we opened a few channels. But if you want to create your own channel and you want to put your own UI on the sales signals, widgets is the way to go, right? So talk too much about the widgets. Let's see what we can achieve through the widgets. What I have taken is a couple of examples. The first example we will see in this demo, that actually is a Zello integration. So most of you would be aware of Zello. It's a real estate vendor who handles the sellers and buyers information right inside one place. So what we are trying to achieve is, we will have the buyers and sellers information in one place. And as a CRM vendor, what I would like to facilitate is, for the buyers, I would like to connect the sellers and close the deal and get the commission out of it. So that is the small demo that I'm trying to provide you. Let's get into the demo. Okay, here we go. So you could see there are quite a few tabs. The third tab that I'm in is the buyer and the seller leads. Okay, so I have created a small lead. Probably I'll go to Hitesh Solanki. If you could see, his requirements are crystal clear. He says that interested in flats. So you could see this information, the number of bedrooms, number of baths, and the required property size, and which place he wants to look for this property, and so on and so forth, and the minimum budget as well as the maximum budget. So this is his requirement. Now this CRM gives some cushion for him to find his own sellers. So as a CRM user, what I've done is I've created a small button called Find Reseller. I beg your pardon, it was inside the sandbox. It actually covers the name. So actually this is Find Seller. It's a custom button for in first place. Yeah, I click on that. Now you could see one screen. This is not Zoho CRM screen. This is written through widgets, and this is completely customizable. So this UI is written by me, and this UI is not at all inside the CRM. It's not given by the CRM. So we have put our own JS and the HTMLs and some logics inside that. That's how it comes now. Now there is one more interesting part. It gives me the two sellers matching my criteria. There is one more. You could see there is something called Try in Zello. Again, inside this page, I have embedded another custom button. Let me see what it does. So I click the Try in Zello. It gives me a bunch of information by searching in Zello and putting it inside this widget. So isn't it interesting? Now you could see there are 5 different things. I'm interested on this particular one. It sounds to be fine. So I'll save it. Now a deal is created for Hitesh Solanki, and you could see what is the property it got linked. So the one which I have linked through that widget gets linked up here. So whatever you have seen, it's all through the widgets. And there is another interesting part to it. Let me go into the property which I've chosen for Hitesh Solanki. So this is the property which I got from Zello. So you remember, right? So I clicked try in Zello, it gives a lot of information. Now I hooked it here. You could see all the necessary information. And then the interesting part, you could see here, right? So it brings me the necessary information from Zello inside the CRM itself. So it just brings the exact UI you could see inside the Zello inside this particular the deal. So all this necessary information, whatever you see now, it's all through the widgets. The UI is completely driven through the widgets, and it takes the necessary iframes and other stuffs inside the CRM and shows me all the necessary data, including the picture, the details, the estimate, the comparable homes, so that the near comparisons has been given, and of course the map, so it gives me where it is. So everything written by the widgets, it's not inside the CRM, so I have written everything right inside the widgets. So this is the power of widgets we are trying to bring in inside the CRM. So isn't it interesting? So right here you could see the transactions, and if you want, you can confirm the deal, and automatically the deal gets closed. Let me see whether it gets, yeah. So now I say the property details, it gives me all the property details, and then I confirm it. That's it. Now this deal is been confirmed, and it would mark the deal as closed, right? Right, you can see here it's closed now. So all these things are completely driven by the widgets, powered by the custom functions and other things inside it. That's about the power of widget we would like to bring in. So hope you like that widgets demo. The third one is the workflow action. It's pretty straightforward. I'll just give you a screenshot of what we are trying to provide. So this is the action items that we would like to we actually give. And the interesting part is I'm noting it down right there, the custom actions. So that custom action can be hooked inside the actions. And you know what? If you click on that, a UI will come. That UI can be completely written by you. So Zoho CRM does nothing with that. So you can just write your own widgets and just put it inside the CRM, and it does wonders. So you can write numerous custom actions inside the workflow, and you can hook it inside the workflow. So that's about the custom functions and the mobile and the JS SDKs. So this is the next leap we would like to jump. Um, Mostly what happens is the CRM native application always binds with the CRM that we have on the desktop. But on the fields engineer, or on the people who are on the go, doesn't require all the modules right inside the CRM as their mobile app. So what they need is a completely tailored CRM, absolutely sticking to their requirement, not necessarily to be very CRM centric. And at the same time, the apps could be white label for your own you know companies. So that is the idea behind this mobile SDK. So we will try to see what we are trying. Okay, so before getting into the demo, we will see what we actually provide for the development. So if you are going to take our mobile SDK and you want to build an apps on top of it, this is the stuff that we provide. Authentication, login, logout, you need not worry at all. The API wrappings, it's all on the fly. And the version management, you need not think about whether you have to use this API or that API version, nothing. So everything is wrapped. We provide the SDKs. You can make use of the SDK methods. You can start writing it. This is about the development. What happens after you created an app? So it has to be distributed, right? So even the distribution part, we are covering up because we already have MDM provisionings inside Zoho. So we are leveraging that and we are providing everything right inside the CRM. So all you have to do is develop it, put it inside the MDM that we provide, and we will take care of the distribution based upon the roles, right? So we will see about the mobile demo.
So I'm kind of like super intrigued by this demo. So I looked at you setting up this demonstration before we started this thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm assuming we're going to have a screencast.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would like to bring a screencast from my mobile. I beg your pardon if you find anything not able to see, or you just raise any issues if you feel anything. Right. So
yeah,
this is the screencast that I would like to show you. Now, before getting into this, a mobile app, I would like to give you a small information. So the example I would like to quote here is, say, a window cleaning, for that matter. So I get a lot of calls from my customers saying that so their apartment needs to be cleaned or their office needs to be cleaned. So any request would reach me. So as a call attender, I will get the information, then I will create an appointment. For example, so window 12 storage building window clean, right? So who is the customer? So if at all I have the customer's information, I can choose this, or I can create a new customer and I can say it. So I'm scheduling it, and today I'm scheduling it. Address, for the sake of just giving you a quick location, so I'm just choosing my location. So I stay in Gurvanjeri. So I create an appointment now, right? So appointment owner is Vijay Demo, and this is the appointment that I have, and the subject is 12-story building window cleaning, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to the mobile app. You could see here there are 4 different parts. This UI is completely written on top of the mobile SDK that we are providing. Okay, let me go into the scheduled part, right? There are quite a few spots, right? So those things are nothing but the appointments and the place where I have to go. So the one which I've created now, you could see there it's a 12-story building window cleaning. So what I'll do is I'll go inside, and this is the appointment that I have. Now what I'll do is I went to that particular space, the area, and I've done something. Assume that I've done the cleaning. I say complete. So it asks me the details of the job. Done perfectly. Okay. Now, so what we are actually trying to give is, just a second. Just be on the line.
Folks, we are just figuring out something that we did on the SDK. So as the lead is figuring out, I'm pretty sure that you're finding this webinar pretty interesting. And then, okay, I think we are back.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So sorry, folks, about that. I just pressed some wrong button. So while I'm completing this task, it asks me to attach you know the work that I've done. So what I'll do is I'll take a snapshot of Ambi. Okay, good. He looks good. And now, so it is actually the proof that I have done my work. So I'm saving it. Right, this is done now. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to the menu and I see the completed task. See the 12-story building window cleaning, it's done. It says it's completed. So it's all done on the mobile SDK that we provide. Now, what I'll do is I'll go back to my application, right? So I go and see inside, it says it's completed. You could see here, that is one thing. The second thing is the job card that I've done. So this is the job card. So I'll go inside this job card. It gives me what are all the things that I have noted down. Okay, so, and the interesting part is whatever the picture I've took right there. So you can see Ambi's face there, right? So from the mobile applications perspective, still it's the same CRM, but the experience of the field sale is completely different, and the experience of the person who is sitting actually inside the CRM is completely different. So this is the stuff that we would like to bring in through the mobile SDK. So this is just a sample. You can build any application on top of our mobile SDK, and it actually talks with our own modules, and the mapping can be done. Everything is possible through the mobile SDK. So wouldn't it open a lot of avenues for you, right? So hope it is interesting for you. So that's about the mobile app demo. So you could see there are a lot of things on the customization part being assorted like this, and it gives us a small hint of what it is. That's it. So there are so many features actually constitutes a bigger platform, and you could see there is this value add to that platform is that the advanced customization and build your own requirements, build your own you know experience through that yellow stuffs. And you can see a few things are open ended. So the purpose is still we are developing, and a lot more blocks will come inside, and we will keep expanding our platform. So that's the idea behind that, the image. Okay, so that's about the customizations that we would like to bring in. So what's next? This is so we've been heading towards the major releases that we are trying to bring in. So we'll quickly go through the customization parts on what we are actually going to provide. A few glimpses. Um, since it's a closed network, we would like to bring some confidentiality, because all these things we have never exposed to anything to anybody. So we have this you know the confidentiality within us. So on the customization part, we are trying to bring in the validation rules, the subforms, a new terminology and new functionality we would like to bring in, the user lookups, the reporting to hierarchy, and the list view customization. So we will just glimpse through each and every feature. Validation rule, very straightforward. It is It just gives you a liberty to ensure a proper data is being entered inside the CRM. Say, for example, for this use case, what I would like to give is, if the country is China, the age should be greater than 18. Right? That is my simple criteria. So you can write a rule in such a way that whenever your chosen country as China, you cannot enter the age below 18. So that is the validation rule. Like this, you can just create any kind of rule you want. The first level, the first phase of the release, it captures all the necessary ingredients of what you can derive through the validation rules. So this is the UI. So the configuration UI, based upon any field, you can write the validation rule for that field. What are the other criterias? And you could see here the error message is completely driven by you. You can write your own error messages and you can place it right beneath the field. The next one is the subforms. As the name implies, this is actually a form inside a form. To be more precise, it's actually a table inside a form. So you might have come across numerous examples. You might be, you might have experienced a lot of requirements from your own customers to bring a few information inside a module, but that should sit inside the module itself. So for example, the product line items inside the invoices and codes, it's a very straightforward example of subforms. Right? Trip itinerary of a tour, right? And ingredients list for a recipe. So so you can imagine any number of things like that. So say for example, for an employee, the education qualifications, that could be one among them, and even the work experience could be the subforms. So you could build on any number of examples, and all those things can be captured inside the subform. To give you a screenshot of what we have done, so this is inside the deal module, and you could see there is something called items, and that actually resembles like a table inside a form, which tells you what product you would like to choose and what is the list price and how many numbers you want, what is the amount and the discount. And not only that, you can also aggregate based upon each and every fields you want, and the customization part can be completely given to you. So there are so many aspects to it. So this is what we would like to bring in. And this is the configuration page. So we are going to have a small facelift for our layout editor. This is the new layout editor you would see probably in 4 weeks time, 4 weeks to 6 weeks time, tentative date. So you could see the screen of the subform, the reporting hierarchy. So it gives you enough flexibility for the same role people. So right now what we have is 10 people reporting to a role. That role will have 10 people. So these 10 people all inevitably will report to those 10 people. There is no clear hierarchy being defined. So that we are trying to crack out, and we have come up with something called reporting hierarchy. You can change the hierarchy preference to make sure the reporting to works for you. So this is a simple example of how we achieve this. Inside the sales manager, Emilio Barros is one of the managers, and the sales executives, that could be numerous sales executives. These two executives can be reporting to Amelia Barros. So that is what we would like to bring in inside the reporting to hierarchy. And for your information, the reporting to hierarchy is already rolled out 3 or 4 days back. So you can go inside Zoho CRM and you can check it out. The list view customization. This is another out of the box customization we would like to bring in. Would you believe this UI is actually inside CRM? How many of you will believe me? Right. Okay, so
I'm the first person who is not believing.
I know you won't believe. Right, so you can just bring such a customization inside the CRM. You can bring the photos, the grouping of different columns in a different way, and highlighting the price in a different way. And there is no tabulation here. It is just the matrix of information following one after the another. So these are all the information that this is the customization part that we would like to bring in through the list view customization. This is another example. So this is another type of a layout. So like this, you can build any type of layout you want and have it as your list view. So this is what we are also trying to push it for our the major release. And the user lookups, like any module lookup, the user lookup is another one which we'd like to bring in. So not just the owner will be assigned to a particular user. So any user can be given access to the record through the user lookup. So that summarizes what's actually coming up. So we have some time.
Introducing Files Go, the cleanup app from Google that helps you free up space.
Fine. So
And get smarter over time with suggestions to delete the files you don't need.
Okay, folks, sorry for the commercial break. It was it was it's an ad from the phone. Android phones always pay up like this. Okay, so Philippe, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the really nice presentation. And then okay, so I think we have a bunch of questions. So the first question is from Adreno, and is it possible to create a custom function and sell them to customers? That's a really good question.
yeah. Okay, so it's like the custom functions actually doesn't have a standalone functions as of now. I was explaining in the early part of my webinar, I was saying custom functions can be given a standalone. In our next release, we will be providing the custom functions as standalone functions. You can we are going to expose the URLs to it, and those custom functions can be copied and put into the customer's account as and when it is required. So in terms of selling it, maybe I would like to say it as an extension. Build an extension, um, get it approved from our team, and then if you want to sell it, you can do that. So that is pretty much possible.
Okay, so moving on. Sachit is making a joke, and then the joke is very simple that I think Dilip demoed some very basic custom functions, and then he's saying there are some really advanced custom functions that he's writing. Glad to know, Sachit. So we will be proud of you, don't worry. Okay, another question is there a limit of the number of records affected by a custom function?
Yeah, we don't have a limit as of now.
Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, another question is, can I create a round robin login in the assignments through a custom function?
Yes, of course you can. You can write your own custom functions in which the round robin, the logic can be given, and I would say probably we have an extension which actually wrote this custom function. In the marketplace, it is even available right now.
Okay.
If you want to write, you can write on your own as well.
Okay, perfect. So folks, before we go to the next question, I quickly want to launch a poll. So based on the overall quality of the webinar, the content, the presentation by Dilip, so can you please go ahead and then rate this webinar for me on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So let's assume that 5 is excellent, 4 is good, 3 is okay, 2 is bad, and then 1 is very bad. Okay. So please go ahead and then vote. Just click on any number of your choice in that. So 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. And then you can click on the submit button. So click on any number and then click on the submit button. So you know that this is a very new initiative from Zoho. This is only partner exclusive. So every single person. So we have almost 50 partners on call today. So this is a partner exclusive initiative, and then this is going to happen right throughout the year. So we'll be very, very excited to know that what was your feedback, what you did not like, what did you like, did you get what you came in for? So you're spending a considerable amount of time and your own resources to come and learn all this. So we just want to make sure that whatever you're learning is worth your time. So just let us know your feedback, and then I'm going to get back to the questions. So we do have a lot of questions that are coming. I'm going to take that in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Boom. Okay. At the count of 0, I'm going to go ahead and then close this thing. Okay. 0. Okay. Oh, not bad. Okay. Thank you so much. So I'm going to hide the results, and let me quickly go ahead and then hide the results. Okay. More questions coming your way. So you could see that. So this looks amazing, guys. Will you be holding any training webinars in the future? So this is from Andrew Wallace. This is supposed to be the training webinar. We do have a recording of the webinar if you want. So what do you think? Is there like a detailed training? I'm pretty sure that you're going to sell follow-up material for reading after the
Yes.
webinar. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't talk about how to write the custom functions and other things. So for that, we might, arrange a webinar to completely give you a full details about what you can write in the custom functions, what you can achieve in the custom functions. So that is a different story altogether. So apart from that, when we launch the widgets, definitely we will have a, a very down to earth how to write the widgets webinar um, moving forward. So once we release that, definitely we will provide those widget stuffs and the mobile SDK stuffs.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. There's another question from Mohammed. So Mohammed says that need more info about customization on inventory options. So do we have that? Do we have like a guide that we can distribute?
See, on the inventory module, we don't have too much of customization because the direction we would like to go is through the Zoho Finance Suite integration. That is the direction we would like to go. Having said that, a few small customizations we have already given. For that, maybe I can pass on the materials, to the needy people. Uh, by introducing this custom, the sub forms, it actually, covers most of the customizations that the people would actually require.
Okay. Okay, so I know that we kind of like it's not like a hard stop, but we have to the webinar ends in like 3 minutes. So if you only schedule 60 minutes for this, feel free to exit the webinar. But we're going to stay as long as we can and then take all questions. So keep your questions coming. Okay, so moving on, Vincent says that hello, Zoho Flow will be the best method for integration between different products like Zoho, CRM, books, etc.
It's a pretty early call as of now. Zoho Flow itself is very premature. It has just started off. We need to see how it would evolve, and at the same time, we would need to see how we can link the other services through the flow. So we will keep our things open. Moving forward, definitely we'll look for all the possibilities.
Okay, I think the short answer over there is Zoho Flow is just launched, and then like any other Zoho product, it's evolving over a period of time. So the best is yet to come. Okay, so moving on, Rukshin has asked the question: by when we can expect the list customization to be available?
Um, so it would be available on phased manner. Maybe in a couple of months' time, it should be available at least for the partners. Probably, if we are converging fast, we would like to open much earlier. But definitely, it would be open first to the partners, and then we'll slowly open to the customers. Your customers, probably, if somebody wants really quick, we can open it up. So through the phased manner, it will get open. But for the partners, probably 6 weeks to 8 weeks from now.
Okay.
It's a tentative date.
Okay, thanks. So Amit has asked this question, and then the question is very simple: have you done a similar integration with SAP Business One?
So we don't, do all the integrations through the custom functions and other things. We actually opened up all the possibilities. So if people would like to, connect between another application, it is pretty much in their hands now. So if they feel that a few things are falling short, definitely they can raise to us. We will see how we can sort it out.
Okay. Then there are like other feedback to one of our partners for Australia. So Francis says that Subforms is an awesome addition. The webinar has introduced me to so many things I wasn't aware of. And then the last mobile SDK is a very exciting feature. Thank you, Francis, for your everlasting enthusiasm. Okay, more questions. So Ralph Golden, he asked this question. There has been an update on how multiple records are passed on an argument for the buttons to the list view page. There used to be a string, now it's an integer, so they can no longer be supported with a to list. Is there a fix for this?
Okay, so I'll just check it out, because usually from the list view, the list of IDs goes through string, definitely, because it is again the query string. The query string has to be string, so it cannot be an integer. So definitely it should be a string, and maybe I'll check it out. What's your problem here is with some separations. Um, just in case if we broke anything in between, definitely it get fixed up, but I'm pretty sure it should work the way as it was working previously.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, this is actually from Kinjal. Do I need to hard code the user's ID in the custom function that I create for assignment leads based on shift hours? So it's basic. So shift hours in the sense is there like so somebody works from 9 a.m. in the morning to 5, and then there's another shift employee who comes in.
So again, it is based upon your custom functions versatility. So in my custom function which you have written, I have hard coded it because I would like to give the demo as simple as I can so that everybody understands it. If you want to have the logic, what you can do is you can get the a list of users you want, and we have the users attributes which we have already given a couple of months ago or 3 months ago. So based upon the criteria of the users information, you can write the custom function and you can assign based upon that attribute. So that is possible pretty now.
Okay, so Mohammed has asked this question. If somebody from the team could help me close a deal in Saudi Arabia on a customization request by a client, of course, we'll be glad to. So if you can send an email to partner support at zohocorp.com. Yeah. So if you can send an email to partnersupport at zohocorp.com, Mohammed, we just sent that email over to you, so we'll be able to go ahead and then help you in that. Sunil has asked the question, how can we change the UI and can we create the pages? So I think we already explained it in detail, and then okay, wait, thanks. Okay, Sachit has asked a question. I suppose there's a library of custom functions already available. Can we take a look at it? So do we have like
Yeah. In our next update, we are coming up with a repository of custom functions inside your organizations. You might have created, tons and tons of customization, custom functions, and it would be inside the workflow, could be inside the blueprint, inside the buttons. So we are trying to bring in under one umbrella where you go inside. Say for example, inside the developer space, there would be a link called custom functions. If you click on that, it gives you a whole list of custom functions you've already written, and then you can just make use of that custom function and can be integrated in some other functionality as well. So that we are coming up with, definitely.
amazing? So okay. So I think yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Okay, so I think it's pretty much it. I think we kind of like overran the time by 5 minutes, but still I think it's pretty useful. So Dilip, I think you did some really amazing webinars over the last couple of weeks. So the first thing was about like how you could go automation in CRM, and this week it is customization. So I think this is pretty useful. I'm sure our partners would appreciate it. And then, so to all partners, this webinar is up in a recording and then will be up in the Zoho partner portal. Inside your login, you can log in and then access these. Just look for the name Zoho Inspire. So we'll be able to help you with this. And other than that, so if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to the partner support at zohocop.com. So until next time, it's Abhi who is signing off. Much love, and then Dilip. Thank you, Dilip.
Yeah, thank you all.